Gratitude is where every beautiful life begins. It's the quiet force that turns chaos into calm, confusion into clarity, and emptiness into fulfillment. You see, it's not happiness that brings gratitude. It's gratitude that brings happiness. When you train your eyes to see the good in everything, you stop feeling like a victim of life and start feeling like a participant in its miracle. Every morning when you open your eyes, that alone is a blessing, a fresh start, a new chance. But we often overlook these simple gifts. We scroll through our phones, rush through our routines, and forget to notice the beauty quietly waiting for our attention. The warm sunlight streaming through the window, the aroma of coffee, the sound of laughter, or even the breath that keeps us alive. These are not small things. They are life's way of whispering, "You still have something to be thankful for." Gratitude doesn't mean ignoring pain or pretending everything is perfect. It means acknowledging that even in the middle of storms, there's still something worth holding on to. Maybe it's the lesson you learned, the strength you gained, or the person who stood beside you when the world turned away. Gratitude turns wounds into wisdom and obstacles into opportunities. Most people spend their lives chasing more money, more recognition, more things. But the truth is, without gratitude, more will never be enough. Gratitude gives value to what you already have. It transforms your ordinary days into extraordinary experiences. The food tastes better, relationships grow deeper, and your perspective becomes brighter. And here's something powerful. Gratitude doesn't just change your emotions, it changes your energy. When you walk into a room with a grateful heart, people can feel it. It shows in your tone, your smile, your patience. You radiate something that no amount of money or success can buy: peace. If you truly want to live a beautiful life, start by appreciating what's already beautiful in your world. Write it down, say it out loud, feel it deeply. Don't wait for everything to be perfect. Start being grateful while things are still in progress. Gratitude turns waiting into patience and striving into joy. Because beauty is not found in perfection, it's found in perspective. And the most beautiful perspective is one that says, even if I don't have everything I want, I still have enough to be thankful for. So before you chase another goal, pause, look around. Feel the weight of the blessings already surrounding you, your family, your friends, your health, your opportunities. That's where a beautiful life begins, not in having more, but in seeing more of what you already have. Now, while gratitude gives your life color, discipline gives it structure. Gratitude helps you appreciate what you have, but discipline helps you build what you dream of. The two together create balance. One fills your heart, the other strengthens your character. Discipline is not about punishment or restriction. It's about freedom. The freedom that comes when you're no longer controlled by your impulses, excuses, or moods. Every great life you admire, every artist, leader, or visionary is built on this quiet foundation called discipline. Discipline means showing up when no one's watching. It's choosing long-term growth over short-term comfort. It's reading when you'd rather scroll, working when you'd rather rest, and saying no when temptation whispers yes. It's not easy, but neither is living with regret. Think about it. Your habits shape your days, and your days shape your destiny. Every small choice is like a seed. You water it with consistency, and over time, it grows into results you can be proud of. Most people underestimate the power of small efforts. They wait for motivation, not realizing that motivation follows action, not the other way around. A beautiful life is not made of one big moment of success. It's made of thousands of small, quiet decisions. Waking up a little earlier, saving a little more, speaking a little kinder, learning a little deeper. These small disciplines build momentum, and momentum creates transformation. You see, discipline is a form of self-respect. It's how you prove to yourself that your dreams are worth the effort. When you stay consistent, even when it's uncomfortable, you build trust in yourself, and that trust becomes confidence. But here's what's important. Discipline doesn't mean perfection. You'll have days when you fall short, when motivation fades, when your plans don't go right. That's okay. Discipline is not about never falling. It's about getting up one more time than you fall. Every time you choose to stay committed, you strengthen your inner foundation. You start feeling proud. Not because you've achieved everything, but because you've become someone who follows through. And that feeling, that quiet sense of integrity, is one of the most beautiful emotions you can experience. So, start small. Create a rhythm that fits your life. You don't have to run a marathon. Just start walking consistently. You don't need to change overnight. Just commit to one better habit each day. Remember, slow progress is still progress. Discipline is the architect of a beautiful life. It shapes your dreams into reality and turns potential into power. Because when you master discipline, you stop waiting for life to change. You begin creating the change yourself. Your environment shapes your energy, and your energy shapes your destiny. No matter how strong you are, you cannot rise above the influence of the people you spend the most time with. The truth is simple. Your circle is your mirror. If you want to know where your life is headed, look at the company you keep. The people around you are either pulling you higher or quietly pulling you down. Some fill you with courage, others drain you with doubt. Some remind you of your potential, others keep you tied to your past. And here's the hard truth. Not everyone who started with you is meant to go with you. Sometimes to grow, you have to let go. Not with anger, not with bitterness, but with understanding. Growth requires space, and not everyone is comfortable with your growth. Some people loved you for who you were, not for who you're becoming, but a beautiful life requires courage, the courage to walk away from what's familiar and step toward what's right. Surround yourself with people who see the light in you even when you can't see it yourself. Be around those who inspire you to think bigger, act better, and live deeper. You don't need a large crowd. You just need a few genuine souls who speak truth when you drift, who encourage when you fall, who celebrate your success without envy. And don't just look for good company. Be good company. Be the person who lifts others with kindness, who listens with patience, and who believes in people even when they doubt themselves. Because relationships are not one-sided. If you want positivity, you must give positivity. Think about the people you admire most. They probably didn't become who they are by accident. They surrounded themselves with thinkers, dreamers, doers, people who demanded growth, not comfort. Iron sharpens iron, and energy attracts energy. If you walk with the right people long enough, their courage becomes your courage, their habits become your habits, and their success becomes your roadmap. The truth is, life is too short to spend it explaining your worth to those who refuse to see it. Don't chase approval, chase alignment. Find people whose values match your vision, because when you walk with the right crowd, even your struggles start feeling purposeful. Remember this, one positive connection can change the direction of your entire life. The right mentor, the right friend, the right partner, they can awaken potential you never knew existed. A beautiful life doesn't just come from what you do, it also comes from who you do it with. So choose wisely, protect your peace, guard your circle, because your company will either nurture your dreams or poison them. Choose the people who make you feel alive, the ones who remind you that your best days are still ahead, not behind. If you want to live a beautiful life, you must keep growing, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. Growth is what keeps life exciting. It's what gives meaning to the ordinary. The moment you stop growing, you stop truly living. Growth doesn't mean you have to completely reinvent yourself every year. It means you commit to being just a little better than you were yesterday. It's about progress, not perfection. Too many people settle. They reach a certain point in life, get a decent job, earn a stable income, find some comfort, and then they stop. They stop dreaming, stop learning, stop stretching, and slowly their fire begins to fade. But you were not born to stay the same. You were born to evolve. A beautiful life is a continuous process of becoming, of turning your experiences into wisdom, your pain into strength, your failures into lessons. Every challenge is a classroom, and life itself is the teacher. The question is, are you still a student? Keep your curiosity alive. Read books that challenge your thinking. Listen to voices that expand your perspective. Step out of your comfort zone, because growth never happens there. Comfort is the enemy of greatness. You can't become more if you refuse to do more. Growth is not always pleasant. It will test you. It will stretch you. But that discomfort is a sign of transformation. Just like a seed breaks before it grows, you'll have to go through breaking moments before you blossom. But every stage of growth brings new strength, new clarity, new power. And here's the beauty of growth. It compounds. When you grow a little each day, it may not seem like much, but over time it becomes massive. One new idea can lead to a new habit. One new habit can lead to a new lifestyle. And one new lifestyle can lead to a completely new destiny. Growth doesn't just improve your life, it improves the lives of those around you. When you grow wiser, you lead better. When you grow stronger, you serve better. When you grow kinder, you love better. That's how your growth becomes a gift to the world. So never stop investing in yourself. Learn new skills, develop new perspectives, explore new possibilities. Don't wait for opportunities to come. Grow until you attract them. Life rewards expansion. When you expand your capacity, life expands its blessings. You are not done yet. There's always another level of strength, of creativity, of purpose waiting inside you. Keep reaching for it. The most beautiful part of life is not the destination. It's who you become on the journey. So keep learning, keep stretching, keep evolving, because the moment you stop growing, you stop living beautifully. And the more you grow, the more beauty you find. Not because life becomes easier, but because you become greater. There's something profoundly beautiful about a person who chooses to give more than they take. In a world where everyone is trying to get ahead, collect more, and claim more, the act of giving stands out like sunlight breaking through a cloudy sky. Giving is not just about money, it's about heart. It's about time, kindness, encouragement, and care. It's about showing up for people even when you're tired. It's about offering love in a world that often forgets what love looks like. The most fulfilled people are not the ones who have the most. They are the ones who give the most. When you give, you tap into something divine within you. You remind yourself that life is not a race for possession, but a journey of contribution. You see, everything you give out has a way of finding its way back to you. Maybe not instantly, maybe not from the same person, but it comes in peace, in joy, in meaning, because giving multiplies the beauty in your life. It shifts your focus from what can I gain to how can I serve? And that shift changes everything. Think about it. The moments that stay in your heart forever are not the ones where you received something, but the ones where you gave something that mattered. Maybe it was comforting someone when they were lost. Maybe it was helping a friend get back on their feet. Maybe it was just a small act of kindness that cost you nothing but made someone's day. Those are the moments that build a truly beautiful life. Giving also frees you. It releases you from the heavy grip of self-centeredness. When your hands are open to give, they're also open to receive. The universe works that way. What you pour out comes back multiplied. And you don't need to be rich to give. You just need to be rich in spirit. You can give your time when someone needs to talk. You can give your understanding when someone makes a mistake. You can give your encouragement when someone feels like giving up. These things don't cost you money. They cost you attention, empathy, and heart. Some people think giving makes them weaker, that it leaves them with less. But the truth is, the more you give, the more you grow. You expand your capacity to love, to forgive, to care. You begin to see the world through a wider lens, because giving lifts your soul above the noise of greed and comparison. And the world needs more givers, people who see beyond themselves, who bring light to dark places, who remind others that goodness still exists. When you choose to give more than you take, you become that light. You become proof that a beautiful life is not measured by accumulation, but by contribution. So ask yourself, what can I give today? Maybe it's a word of encouragement. Maybe it's a helping hand. Maybe it's forgiveness. Because sometimes the greatest gift you can give is peace, both to others and to yourself. When you make giving a way of life, your life becomes larger, brighter, and infinitely more beautiful. Because in giving, you don't lose, you rise. Ambition is a wonderful thing. It gives you purpose, energy, direction. It's what drives you to wake up early, to work harder, to dream bigger. But if ambition is not balanced with peace, it can turn into pressure. And pressure without pause will slowly steal the joy out of your journey. We live in a world that glorifies hustle, the constant chase, the endless comparison, the obsession with more. But what's the point of reaching the top if you lose your peace on the climb? What's the point of having everything if your soul feels empty? A beautiful life isn't about running the fastest. It's about running with meaning. It's about knowing when to push and when to pause. It's about understanding that rest is not weakness. It's wisdom. Peace is not found when everything slows down around you. It's found when you learn to stay calm, even while life is speeding up. It's about building quiet moments in a noisy world, taking time to breathe, to reflect, to simply be. You see, balance doesn't mean doing less. It means doing what matters most. You can have ambition and peace, but you must learn to separate what is urgent from what is important. The world will always demand your attention. It will always tell you to move faster, do more, achieve higher, but only you can decide when to step back and protect your peace. Take a walk without your phone. Sit in silence for a few minutes each day. Listen to your own thoughts again. You'll be surprised how much clarity peace can bring, because when your mind is calm, your vision becomes clear. Never forget that success without peace is failure in disguise. You can have all the titles, the possessions, the applause, but if you can't sleep peacefully at night, if you've lost yourself in the process, it's not worth it. Balance means giving your best to your dreams and to yourself. It means knowing that it's okay to rest, to slow down, to say no. You are not a machine. You are a soul in motion. You deserve to experience the beauty of life, not just the burden of achievement. Sometimes the most productive thing you can do is pause, to recharge, to reconnect, to remember why you started in the first place, because peace gives power to your purpose. It refreshes your energy, renews your creativity, and restores your joy. When you learn to balance ambition with peace, life becomes more meaningful. You stop running blindly toward the future and start living gracefully in the present. And that's when you realize that a beautiful life is not just about how far you go, it's about how deeply you live along the way. A truly beautiful life isn't just about what you have or even what you achieve. It's about how consciously you live and how meaningfully you move through each day. You see, purpose gives direction and awareness gives depth. Together, they create a life that feels alive, not just one that looks successful from the outside. Every morning you wake up, life gives you a silent invitation. What will you do with this day? And too often, we rush past that invitation. We get lost in the noise, the notifications, the deadlines, the comparisons, the constant motion. We end up living on autopilot, doing what's expected, following routines that no longer inspire us. And slowly, we start to drift. But the truth is, you were never meant to live a life of repetition. You were meant to live a life of intention, a life where your actions align with your values, where your days have meaning, and where your presence touches others in a way that outlives you. Living with purpose begins with a simple but powerful question. Why? Why do you do what you do? Why do you chase the dreams you chase? Why do you wake up and face the world each day? Because when you know your why, your how becomes stronger. Challenges no longer feel like punishment. They feel like preparation. You stop surviving life and start participating in it with meaning. Purpose doesn't always mean a grand mission or a perfect plan. Sometimes it's found in the small, quiet acts, showing kindness when it's hard, staying honest when it's easy to lie, being patient when you're tempted to rush. Purpose is less about what you do and more about the spirit in which you do it. Some people spend years searching for their purpose, waiting for some lightning bolt of clarity. But purpose is not something you find. It's something you create. It's built moment by moment, choice by choice, through the way you show up for life. When you give your best, when you serve others, when you live true to your values, that's purpose in motion. And alongside purpose, there is something equally powerful: awareness. Awareness is the art of being fully present. It's noticing the moments instead of rushing through them. It's looking up from your screen to watch the sunset. It's hearing the laughter of your loved ones and realizing this is what life is about. When you live with awareness, even ordinary things become sacred. A conversation, a meal, a walk, everything takes on new meaning because you're truly there. Awareness slows life down just enough for you to appreciate it, and appreciation deepens joy. The tragedy for many is not that life is short, it's that we waste so much of it being unaware. We exist but don't experience. We move but don't feel. We plan for tomorrow and forget to live today. But awareness brings us back home, to this moment, to this breath, to this opportunity right here and now. Purpose gives your life direction. Awareness gives it peace. Purpose makes you reach higher. Awareness helps you stay grounded. Together, they create balance. The kind of balance that makes your life both productive and peaceful, both meaningful and fulfilling. When you start living with purpose and awareness, you begin to see that every moment, even the difficult ones, carries value. The failures teach you humility, the successes teach you gratitude, and the quiet days teach you patience. Every season of life has something to offer if you're paying attention. Ask yourself often, am I truly present or am I just passing through? Because presence is power. You can't change the past and you can't control the future, but you can shape this moment. And this moment shapes everything else. And here's something beautiful. When you live with purpose and awareness, you start inspiring others without even trying. Your energy changes. People can feel it. You become someone who radiates calm, focus, and meaning. You remind others that there's more to life than chasing the next goal, that there's beauty in being alive right now. Living with purpose and awareness is not about perfection. It's about alignment. It's about waking up each day with gratitude in your heart, clarity in your mind, and love in your actions. It's about making sure that at the end of each day, you can look back and say, I didn't just exist today, I lived. Because the most beautiful life is not one filled with possessions, but one filled with presence. Not one measured by success, but by significance. And that begins the moment you choose to live each day, fully awake, deeply aware, and driven by purpose.